Hello and welcome back. Um, I believe we died last time, so this time we're gonna crush it. Um, so I guess I'll give some background information. Um, Catching back up, I'm a little behind. I know I haven't uploaded in a hot minute, but it's fine. Um, Hero just not just dropped, but Hero dropped for Smash. This little boy here, he's not in. He's in the final Smash, like every protagonist is. But he's in the final Smash as an adult, has his adult form, and yeah. But he is the one in the movie. I think it's I can't remember the title for it, but the new Dragon Quest movie. A lot of people say it looks kind of like a How to Train Your Dragon movie. But anyways, so we're just gonna continue onwards and upwards. Um, I don't think we're gonna grind, but what I will do, since I complained last time about her using magic, she will not. Now, the reason why I don't have them follow orders, so in the older games, what would happen is you would tell your unit, like your people, I say units, so I've been playing Fire Emblem a lot lately, but yeah, I've been out of it. I've been still playing games, but I've been like out of the loop of playing this. But basically, wait, do I have a boomerang? Oh, I do. Yeah, but basically, so what normally happens is that in these older games, it lets you choose what you want to do, and then it goes by speed of what happens. Like see, Bianca probably has the higher speed than I do, and the Geocats have lower speed than both of us. Let's just check real quick. So my speed, or my agility rather, is 15, and hers is 20. So she goes first, and the Geocats are probably somewhere lower than that. In the older games, you choose it, and then you choose it for everybody, and then they all go. But in the newer ones, like in 11, which I've been playing the post game of lately. I think I already got these, but I'll check again. But I got to the post game, and it I have one more side quest to do, and I may like replay that and like stream it at some point because it is definitely worth replaying, in my opinion. And but basically, but in the newer ones, I think 11 may be the first one to do it. You take turns, and like the person with the highest speed goes first, and you'll like I usually set them to follow orders, or I usually set them in follow orders whenever I have difficulty with a battle. But if it's nothing difficult, then I only have follow orders for the protagonist, and so that's basically the. But if like I have difficulty with a battle, then I'll control exactly what they're doing. But the main reason for that is the AI for this is smart enough to know when to heal because they'll know who everybody will target, and they'll know what spells and who to attack a little bit better because they have basically it's ahead of the game compared to what I can tell. Like I could be smart enough to be able to tell a lot better by guessing who they'll attack based on different stats, but it's just a lot easier to let them do it if that makes any sense. I feel like it does. So yeah, Hero dropped. With Banjo too. I didn't really grow up with Banjo, so I don't have much to say about him personally. Um, but I am happy for people that got to play that are like looking forward to him and have missed Banjo and all of his games and all that. Um, like a lot of people are saying stuff like Hero is for the West, but is for Japan, and Banjo is for the West. But I don't know. I don't really agree. I just don't agree with that notion because there's plenty of people that like banjo in Japan and plenty of people that don't the U.S. and vice versa for Hero. Um, but I don't think a character like Hero has ever really existed outside of Japan because in Japan, Dragon Quest is like a cult. Like it has like a cult following almost. Um, if I don't heal her, then this may be rough. Yeah, that would have been rough. So it's hard to say really. It's because Hero is so big in Japan. Like it's as big as like Dragon Quest is as big as Dragon Ball in Japan. Akira Toriyama is very successful with his artwork, I suppose, in a lot of ways. But like this is basically how you're supposed to do the battle. You're supposed to have her all built up with all of her magic as much as you can. You're supposed to sleep before you go in because there's no monsters on your way up here. I kind of rushed it last time, but see, it's not a hard battle. And then you level up, and I'm kind of a high level, so it's kind of bad on my part to have failed that last time. But I always just rush in, and I'm really bad about doing that. But yeah, I don't know. But if you look at, yeah, I can forgive you. Bump it a boom, and then they're gonna fly us up. So this becomes an important story point later of what they give you. They give you a golden orb, which is pretty cool. Like it becomes at 2 points in the story, it becomes a major thing. Or well, they don't really give it to you; you get it basically. Yeah, see like that. And but yeah, because Akira Toriyama, if you don't know, he draws. He's the original manga artist or mangaka, I guess you could say, for Dragon Ball. I think that's the word for it. And oh yeah, you can't zoom. Do I have a wing? Yes, I do. And yeah, so he's the original manga artist for Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. Super, it's Toyotaro. If you really like Dragon Ball Z, then that's that's a whole thing. And he draws the art for this game. And there's all kinds of interviews for that. And but by the way, this cat is actually a monster, and he becomes really important. And then you get to name him right around now. Give the puss a name. I like the name Saber. There's a lot of other names like Leo. Leo was the first one I picked. I think the first time I played this game. But Saber, I'd like that name a lot more. There were some weird ones. I think there were references to other things, but I can't quite remember. And then, like I said, I definitely died to tell you about the fact that Pancras definitely does say he has a cold. And now we leave. So yeah, I'm really excited for Hero. I'll leave my Switch code, my friend code, in the description, so you can all add me. Um, I am sorry that this isn't like portrait mode. I wish I could turn it on the side to make it a little easier to view. But no, I will put myself in whatever danger I see fit. Sorry, Dad, but that's the way it's got to be. See, you just put me in danger right then. And then, but yeah, the hero is just a interesting character to add because everybody's been wanting. Like, hero has been like a guest character for so long, at least from the Japan point of like the Japanese perspective. Like that's just been what everybody thought would happen. Like they thought hero would be the one to join. Oh, and you can see Saber's cute little icon in the top. Um, like I like Saber's adult icon, but like the adult icons for everybody looks a lot better. You'll see what I mean later in the game. Um, so yeah, now we'll be tackling the fairy stuff soon. Kind of keeping a watch on my time because I need to go to sleep soon because it's kind of late and this video go up real late. maybe the middle of the day for people in different time zones, but for me it'll probably be like midnight or 1 a.m. or something like that. Because usually my 20, 30 minute videos take a while. And, but yeah, speaking of Kira Toriyama, I really enjoy Dragon Ball. I suppose that's what kind of attracted me to this game is this art style, and a lot of people like Chrono Trigger. It has a nice art style, also by Akira Toriyama. Um, a lot of people compare those, and it's like, oh, he just draws Goku and Trunks all the time, but he doesn't. But he doesn't know, like, a lot of it's just like based on hair. I don't. I wish I could show you a little bit more, but like basically he has like if like this guy's probably the most unique he's ever drawn. Like a lot of the rest of them look like Gohan or some other various character from Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z or whatever. So no leaving the town, and you can talk to your party with this little icon in the middle on the right. But Saber doesn't say anything. He can't really talk, so we'll just ignore that for the moment. And then everybody's just there's some people that are like there's a fairy or something, I think, but I remember where it was. And so here we go. And then she says she'll meet you in the house with a cellar, which is your own house. Pretty cool. Um. So yeah, I guess I'll continue talking about Dragon Ball. Personally, I prefer the original Dragon Ball a lot more than Z. Oh, here's your. Well, I won't say that. I'm sure you can guess. I could guess at 8. This is what you're going to look like as an adult. This is the first time a Dragon Quest protagonist has ever talked. And there's some foreshadowing, and it's some pretty cool stuff. Like there's double the foreshadowing. I really like the main character's design, and I really I guess a lot of it that I like about this game that like drew me to this one more than 6 to being my favorite as a kid and still now, design wise, anyways, like character design wise, is Piccolo is one of my favorite characters in Z, and the turban is one of my favorite. Like I just like the turban look on Piccolo, and little kid has a turban, so that's pretty cool. I don't think I've been down here yet. I think that yes, that one has stuff. Um, I plan on playing other games in the midst of this. But this is going to be like the ongoing project, and I'll just throw in some other stuff here and there because I don't want to burn out on on it or anything. Strength 32, strength 24, but he's level 2, so we're using it on me. And I got 1 strength. Wow. There's like usually a better way to do it. And, but anyways, so I like the original Dragon Ball a lot better. Um, I like early Z, like up to the Cell games. Like once you got to the point to where it's once you got to the Boo saga and stuff, like there's a lot of complaints about it because it's just weird for one thing. But my biggest complaint is like once you hit the Boo saga and near the end of the Cell saga, it just became who can fire the biggest beam really, or who can scream loud. You know, that's what everybody. That's what most people think of with Dragon Ball. And because the stakes are so low, you can't really do anything with like loss or anything else. But I think the important part is, but anyways, it. I'm just trying to read this while I'm catching back up because I haven't played this in a while. Yes, we're gonna save the fairies. Get the Herald of Spring from somebody that stole it. It's like a flute, if I remember correctly. And then Honey joins us. Honey has a disgusting sprite. I just don't know how else to put it. Honey just has a terrible sprite. like not really this overworld sprite. It's not awful. I don't like the yellow clothes with the yellow skin, but like her in battle, like little mini sprite at the top. It's not as big in the mobile version, so it's not as bad. But um, the DS version, which that's what this one's based on, is the DS version. The DS version. If you ever come across that and decide to play the DS version, it'll be pretty much the exact same, looks wise, except for it'll be a split on two screens, and you'll get to see those sprites a little bit bigger. Um, and it's a little bit nicer. You don't have this clunking around or anything like that. Um, the there's the place where there's at the end. There's the armory. The weaponry's in there as well. But let's see if we can buy something for Saber because I believe he's a little low level, so he needs to survive a little bit longer. 220, perfect. No sir, thank you. But and it's not like Super has a lot of the same vibes to me. Like I think a lot of late Dragon Ball just transitioned to where there's nothing interesting about what they're doing as much as the story they tell. Like everything should be based around the story, I think. And and it's kind of hard to pull that off simply because it's so much easier just to write Goku and Vegeta just shooting lasers and everybody get hyped up over that. But I, I, I don't know if that's going to be the best in the long run because then it just won't age well. There's a thing nearby. That's why I'm going this way. I can't remember that's the way I'm supposed to go first, but that's the way I am going first. Mm. But yeah, um, mostly what I mean about that is, I mean the fights are still beautifully court, like they're set up nice, and every shot is nice, just every way. The choreography and the anime is great, and all of that. But it just bothers me a lot how it basically boils down to how far is Goku and Vegeta going to transform, and how much like it doesn't become a question of which one's going to pull out the technique that throws the other one off as much. Like that's what I liked about the Krillin recruitment stuff. Like there's a part in Super where they recruit Krillin, and Krillin like does all kinds of crazy stuff. Like he's weaker than Goku, obviously. He's Super Saiyan Blue, but he outsmarts him in a lot of ways, and it really kind of diminishes Goku's character, what little he has. Like he doesn't have a ton of character in a normal sense, but he does have character. By the way, I miss these enemies. These enemies are so cute, and they don't show up much after this. Like after the DS games, like once they transition to the 3D style, they just stop showing up. Whoosh! Lots of locks. Oh yeah, because we had to learn how to unlock doors. I'm not a bad slime, I promise. Really, I'm not. Yeah, that's it. And so, but the main thing I have with like Dragon Ball in that sense is the original Dragon Ball. There wasn't many beams they could really do, and near the end of it, there was some like maybe some sort of minor beam struggles or something, like just like little spurts here and there. But it was always creative in the way they used it. And now it doesn't feel like there's as much creativity going into what moves they're using or how they're using it. But they're still shining moments. Um, it's just it's not set up nearly as much. Like Dragon Ball had a whole lot more of those. Dragon Ball had like the iconic one where Goku uses a Kamehameha and uses a Kamehameha. I hate saying that because there's too many syllables and I stutter a lot. But he uses a Kamehameha towards the ground when he has one hand left against King Piccolo, and it shoots himself towards King Piccolo through his chest, and that's like one of the most iconic shots in the series, and stuff like that. And then we like sit through the entire tournament of power, and you get to the point to where it become like it's just like so long and so boring, and then you get to the Goku versus Kefla fight, and like the most hype moment was where Goku rides their like red and green Christmas beam with his Kamehameha. He like surfs on it and then shoots them directly. And like that's one of the like that's the kind of stuff I like to see. Like it's still the same move. They don't have to come up with a bunch of different moves. They just need to figure out how to use them. I think, and I think that's what they're missing a lot of, at least lately. Like there's not enough like creativity going into what the characters come up with, and I think it like a lot of it's become they're recovering from relying on power levels constantly. And power levels is a cool crutch to have for like for when you're transitioning between a lot of from like one gap to another one, especially between the Saiyan and Frieza saga, because to most people it'll just be like, oh, it's just another Vegeta. Because like without power levels, ignoring like power levels and all that, like we've seen Vegeta do some ruthless things anyways. We've seen him kill his own man, and so it's not like that's somebody we assume he bonded with and spent a lot of time with. So it's not far fetched to say that if we didn't have like power levels to see how terrifying Frieza was, him killing innocents wasn't comparable. Like it's just like Vegeta did the same thing. They blew up an entire city, and Vegeta killed his own friend. Like Frieza technically never killed, like he killed his own men, but nothing like just like lackeys and stuff. And without the concept of a power level, it was kind of hard to write it in a different way because otherwise, in a sense, like power levels is what part of what made Frieza so terrifying. I mean, he was still terrifying, but I don't think it would have had the same impact unless we knew that he was on such a different scale compared to Vegeta. Because we knew that Vegeta strode against Goku, who wasn't even in like 5 digits of power. Like it's like, oh, he's just over 9,000. Like, haha, funny joke. But but in reality, like if Vegeta's struggling against that, it's kind of hard to say that like if we didn't know those numbers or anything compared to Frieza's 1 million in his second form, and we heard 530,000 in his first, like we would have been like, oh, like if we didn't hear that, we it wouldn't have been. It would have been like, oh, it's just another ruthless person. But this one's probably stronger than Vegeta, but we don't know by how much. That kind of gives you a gauge. But once we hit the Cell Saga, they came up with the idea for the androids to kind of get rid of being able to sense ki. And now it's been just like, oh, it's a massive key, it's a massive key, it's a massive key constantly. And so it's just like we don't know where to gauge that. And I think saying that isn't as comparable as having an interesting fight like in Dragon Ball. Like it's good to have key sensing so they can know, oh, there's a threat coming or something like that. So we know. But like, because we may see something building up in the background, but it's like, when are they going to find out? Like, when is it going to come close enough to where they know, like the characters know? But in a lot of ways, a matter of like just shoot those the bigger beams or anything else like that. and it's kind of upsetting in a lot of ways because they have the potential to still do all that stuff if they set it up. It probably takes a lot more effort nowadays because they're rushing to put out episodes and everything else. But I don't know if any of you've been reading. The Super manga is still going and has its own new little arc after what happens in the Broly movie. And the Broly movie did a lot of beautiful things with it. It was still kind of like the bigger beams, but it still had it had a lot more going on with it. It was animated beautifully, and it still had more stuff going on within all of that than just the sheer hype for Gogeta and Broly in general. Because I know a lot of people watch Team Four Star when it comes to Dragon Ball. Like if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you've probably at least seen Team Four Star, and most people like they've wished their hate quite a few times about Broly in the movies. They kind of make fun of him, and but I still enjoy him because it feels like what Goku would be if he was still if he stayed that kid in the woods. That's probably what Goku would be if he never met Bulma. He'd be that person that's kept seeking power to keep getting stronger and went mad. Broly just had a different way of conveying that. I think it was kind of like a what if this happened sort of thing, like a peer in behind the curtain for Goku almost. And so I think that was just the most interesting part about Broly. But now they've done like redone the whole thing, and he's his own character. He's not a peer behind the veil for Goku or anything like that. He's like his own character, and he is a really interesting character. And that's kind of my point with a lot of it is the most interesting thing about the Broly movie. And the fight scene was beautiful and everything, and the choreography was well done. But at the end of the day, it was still just a bigger beam and who was stronger. But there were still cool things like Gogeta has a part where he like rains down like just like a dome of like energy, and I may be spoiling it slightly, and but there's not a whole lot of people that watch this. So, and by the time if I ever get big, quote unquote, or however you want to call it, by the time anybody sees this, it's going to be years down the road at best. And I don't really plan on getting big with this. But regardless, if you stumble across this, sorry for spoiling it if I did for you. Um, but but the Broly movies just showed a lot of what it showed a lot of the what Super could be, what Dragon Ball Z and or just Dragon Ball rather in general could be. It had beautiful storytelling for people besides just Goku and Vegeta. It had so much, so much like beautifully choreographed fight scenes. Like you don't have to have that animation to have such, like have that, just have that choreography. Really, like that. That's the main thing is having that, just that beautiful setup for everything. Like it had like this nice bundle of things, and it had that beautiful story. And like I think that beautiful fight, like the beauty in the animation is huge for it, obviously, especially after a lot of the disappointment with Super's first few episodes, and that and just the Tournament of Power was just so freaking long of just nothing. But oh yeah, I forget. When you wake up here. So basically, I'm just gonna finish up my thought and then end this episode here, and then we'll continue with some other stuff. Awesome. I think it's still going. Let me check real quick. Sorry. Ignore these messages. Discord likes to send me stuff. So is Twitch. So we'll end this real quick because it's closing on the 30-minute mark. And then next episode we'll go tackle all the rest of that fine stuff. We'll get the Herald of Spring back. But anyways, so I think a lot of Dragon Ball Z's main issue is just like it's not telling a story really. It it relies on, oh man, he transformed. He shot a big beam. He shot a big beam. Oh, it's a cool color, but it's usually just like the same shape. It's nothing like there's nothing unique about them. Like it's just a bigger Kamehameha, or it's a red Kamehameha, or even with Kefla, it was just a red and green, like it was at least red and green, and it twirled around. It was more like a death beam, or not a death beam, a special beam cannon, than it was a Kamehameha. But it was kind of framed the same way as a Kamehameha, if that makes any sense. But even like Kava's main move is just in Xenoverse is described as a quicker Gallic beam or something like that. It's called the Gallic Cannon. But but I think all in all, the Broly movie just showed how good Super could be, or whatever the next iteration is. And of course, there's Dragon Ball Z Kakarot coming out in like next year. Um, so that's definitely a game I pick up because I love Dragon Ball, and I think it could just be so much more than it is. It is my main criticism for it, and I think they know that. It's just it's a hard thing to do when you're having to pump out episodes every week. Just about like I think they go like every week. Sometimes they'll have like a week or two in between, but I think they could do a, if they focused more like they did on the Broly movie. Like I wouldn't personally care if episodes took longer to come out as long as they were at least half as good as the Broly movie and the storytelling and the animation and like the creativity. Like just zero creativity that goes into that is just beautiful, I think. And so anyways, brief recap. Heroes in Smash. Go watch that review. Banjo's in Smash. If you like him, go ahead watch that reveal. That was pretty cool. It was funny, and it was kind of a continuation of the K Rule reveal. Um, Dragon Quest has a movie. I don't know much about it yet. A lot of Akira Toriyama and Dragon Ball talk because that's what people relate this to a lot because of the animation and the art style. Because, it's drawn by the same guy. So yeah, uh, that'd be my stuff to check out this episode, I guess. Um, See you later. Don't have a name for you guys. Um, I keep thinking, call them a sugar baby. Call them sugar babies. Call them sugar babies. But that sounds disgusting, and I'm not going to do that. So next episodes, we save the fairies, and see you guys.